What's up guys, you're back with TechNick, and today I have a speed test between the Realme X2 Pro and the Vivo NEX 3 5G. The Realme X2 Pro comes paired with a Snapdragon 855 Plus processing chip, and I have the 8GB of RAM version over here, which is the ultimate edition that you can get on the Realme X2 Pro, so it comes with UFS 3.0 storage. Then we have the Vivo NEX 3 5G over here, and this also comes paired with a Snapdragon 855 Plus processing chip and 8GB of RAM under the hood, as you guys can see over here in the spec sheets on About Phone within each individual phone itself. Now, the animations I have indeed disabled on both phones under the developer option so that we can test out raw performance, and the X2 Pro comes paired with a 90Hz panel, so we're going to leave that on. The Vivo is limited to 60Hz, and then we don't have any form of high performance on the Vivo. We do have it on the Realme, so we're going to go ahead and tap that on. We also have our wonderful fingers that we're going to be testing out, so to keep things accurate, we're going to use our GoPro footage at the bottom left corner. So guys, without further ado, this is TechNick, and let's go! So guys, in round one over here, we're going to start up by doing a boot test, and though I have sped things forward in some parts, I do put the seconds, and the Realme X2 Pro goes a little bit faster when booting up the phone, and also refreshes the apps when opening up the phone initially, so it gets a second point there too. Then testing out the under display fingerprint sensors, they are indeed both optical. The Vivo gets the first one over there, but then shooting into the second test over here, the Realme X2 Pro unlocks it first and foremost over there, and best 2 out of 3 over here. We're going to go ahead and try one more time, and the Realme X2 Pro actually unlocks quicker when it comes to fingerprints. Unfortunately, we cannot test out Face ID since the Vivo is indeed paired on the pop-up slider, and there is actually no option for Face ID on the Vivo whatsoever, even when using that pop-up slider over there. When it comes to flipping over the camera, obviously the X2 Pro takes the point over there, and so far we are in round 2 over here. As you guys can see, the highlighted yellow on the left and the right of each device over there, and so far the Realme X2 Pro is killing it. I have tried to be as precise as I can with my fingers, and for those of you who don't know, I do have GoPro footage at the bottom left hand corner so that we can get the most accurate possible testing results from this test, and I do factor that in slightly into the test when allocating a point. As you guys can also see, I do put a little green tick under each branding on the left or the right of the phone depending on which one gets the point. And opening up speed test over here for internet speed test, I have gone ahead and fast forwarded the actual speed run since it's about 30 seconds, but we get 29 seconds on the X2 Pro snagging the points as opposed to 32 seconds on the Vivo NEX 3 5G. So far the Realme X2 Pro is absolutely nailing it in round 2, and of course it did the same thing in round 1 over here. We're going to go ahead and open up Spotify over here, and the X2 Pro took it once again over there. The Vivo is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to benchmark testing, guys. I must say that it defeats every single Android phone out there to date other than the iPhone, and that is not Android, so it is still king of all Androids in Antutu and benchmarks runs, and probably when it comes to gaming as well. It does have ultra game mode, though that does not really work when opening and closing regular apps such as this, but only giving you an FPS boost when playing actual games. Where the Realme X2 Pro has a 90Hz screen, the Vivo lacks that, so even if the Vivo can get higher frame rates in games, it is locked to 60 frames per second. But now we're going to go ahead and export a video over here, and because of that UFS 3.0 storage in the Realme X2 Pro, I see it does indeed get it in 28 seconds, where the Vivo NEX 3 took 34 seconds to do that, 6 seconds slower. And as I was talking earlier, guys, we do indeed have a 90Hz panel on the X2 Pro, so you can push higher frame rates on the screen. Even though I do think that the Vivo can push even higher frames, it is locked to 60 frames per second because of that 60Hz panel screen. Nevertheless, the Vivo has an absolutely stunning waterfall display screen, actually the first of its kind. Nothing else comes close to the look of this phone on the right hand side. It is one of the sexiest phones I've ever tested in my entire life. But when it comes to raw performance of opening and closing apps, it seems like the Realme X2 Pro is doing a better job here, almost 20 points ahead compared to the Vivo NEX 3. And there we go, guys, 22 points for the X2 Pro and only 2 points for the Vivo NEX 3. I did not see this one coming, guys, and many people think maybe my left hand is quicker than my right. Guys, just to let you know, I do the test on both sides. I usually put the newer phone on the left hand side, but I have tested this and I got pretty similar results using my left hand on the Vivo NEX as well as on the X2 Pro. I just just do this for aesthetics. So if you guys would like me in the future to test it both ways around and to show you guys that, make an extra long video, I'm more than happy to do that for you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if that would strike you. Have this nice little Christmas theme there for Subway Surfers, and it seems like the Vivo is doing a little bit better when it comes to opening games. It is, if you ask me, a little bit more of a gaming phone than the X2 Pro because of that wonderful screen with no notches at all. Gives you such immersion. I really do dig it, guys. It is honestly one of my favorite phones around. But the X2 Pro definitely is the performer of these two when it just comes to general day usage. Its user experience is higher than any other Android phone I have seen when benchmarking it. It has a really good user experience benchmark run as opposed to other phones when running benchmarks. And now going into the most famous mobile game around, which is indeed PUBG Mobile. It'll be interesting to see which phone actually opens it up a little bit quicker here. I've not fast forwarded this at all, so if you guys want to go ahead and open up PUBG at the same time on your phone to see which one it's gonna beat between the X2 Pro and the NEX 3, the NEX 3 actually opens up PUBG literally a fraction of the second quicker than the X2 Pro, knocking it off in round 2 at 6 points as opposed to 26 points on the X2 Pro. The X2 Pro absolutely smashing it at this point. Now guys, we also have the same cameras on these phones, but before we get into that, we're going into round 3, going back from PUBG all the way back up to camera. And this is not necessarily about RAM management. They do both have 8 gigs of RAM. Xiaomi is not really known for RAM management, but Realme is not Xiaomi, guys. They actually are owned by BBK Electronics, which owns Vivo too. They own Vivo, Oppo, Realme, and OnePlus. And Realme is essentially Oppo, if you ask me. They run the same OS, which is Color OS, where Vivo is running FunTouch, though that is rumored to change very soon. So keep an eye out on my channel. I will be posting a video on the new Vivo software as soon as I get a new update for my Vivo NEX 3 5G over here. And the new Vivo X30 is supposedly launching with the new Vivo software on it. So in round 3, we have a similar thing over here with 9 points on the X2 Pro and just 2 points with the Vivo NEX 3 5G over here. So once again, the X2 Pro is crushing it once again here. And guys, you may have noticed, if you are new to the channel, I did open up a VPN and run a few apps through it. And that is because I live in China, so I don't have access to all social media apps. China do block them. Astral VPN is really great if you guys are looking to get a VPN or decide to relocate to China or another unknown land where Google services are not available. So guys, the Realme X2 Pro is absolutely smashing it. And as I said earlier, they both have the same camera setup. They both have a 64 megapixel Samsung GW1 sensor. They take really great photos, though I do say that the X2 Pro does take slightly better pics if you ask me. And the Vivo went out with a bang, still having the front camera facing upwards. And a total, guys, 47 points on the X2 Pro as opposed to 12 points on the Vivo NEX 3 5G. That is an absolute smash from the X2 Pro side, though the Vivo is still a top performer, guys. Don't get me wrong, it has a lot of better things in different aspects of the phone. All around, my favorite is the Vivo, but for performance, the Realme is an absolute monster. And until next time, guys, this is TechNick.